And she had one there. And finally, one day, uh, all of it, he wanted to that in the paper. So now she was compelled to.
She's superintendent there.
No, she is a fellow of things,
Oh,
but she does actually workshops about education still.
Okay.
Like equity is one of her big.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you and welcome to the Alisal Union School District Board of Trustees regular meeting today, Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. We're going to call the meeting to order at 5:30. And we will start on opening items B, roll call. May I ask the board clerk, Mr. Ocampo, to take roll call, please?
Jose Jimenez,
Present.
Leticia Garcia, Guadalupe, Guadalupe Gilpas,
Here.
Robert Ocampo here, and Señor Mercado, not here.
Thank you so much. Before we move on, I do want to recognize that we have an elected official, Mr. Jorge Rojas, who is not here for official business, but he is a school board trustee with the Salinas Union High School District. Welcome. We'll go on to opening items C. We're going to have our Pledge of Allegiance, and it will be led by Isabella Vaca and Exodus Lopez Roque. Can you please?
So, good evening. My name is Isabela Vaca, and I am a sixth grader at Cesar Chavez School.
Good evening. My name is Exodus Lopez Roque. I'm a sixth grader at Cesar E. Chavez School. Please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Isabella and Exodus. That was a great job. We are going to continue on with opening items D, spotlight, and we want to spotlight some very special guests today with the Alisal Rotary. And every year they give dictionaries to our students. I believe we have the president here, Mr. Ralph Martinez, Sobeida Limas, the treasurer, very important job there. Emmanuel Pimentel, the president-elect, and Irene Merrill. And so would you like to step up so that we can give you a certificate? And if you'd like to say anything, Mr. Martinez, share your experience. How are the kids? They're excited to see you every year. 14 years you've been doing this. Thank you.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for allowing us to do this. It's an honor for us to come out and really, we do it for the kids. Every time we see them, every time they get something from us, it's just something new, something different for them. And just the faces that we get, the looks and the thank you, I guess the first thing in the morning when they're going into the cafeteria to do something, you can see the excitement in their eyes, and then for them to leave with something that is truly theirs, I think it's really what they appreciate. But it's actually more advantageous to us because we appreciate doing that. We look forward to every year. Irene, who is standing right behind me, she's our liaison with the schools, and fortunately for our club, we have a lot of members that work with the school district, within the school district, and the Monterey County Office of Education. So it's a good, I guess, leeway for us to go out there and say, hey, we need some help and to getting this done. And the staff just does an amazing job in helping us do so. So again, we can't do it without the schools allowing us to do it and the students being able to appreciate and get something of their own. So thank you for having us. And like I said, it's definitely our pleasure and our honor for us to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We also need to give a special shout out to George Anzo and his staff, Sergio and Dave. They make our job so much easier. In the beginning years when we started this, we hauled the books from school to school on a trailer and did all the setup, and it was just an agonizing experience for us. But George with his staff gets it all set up and ready for us, and so we just get to show up and do the fun stuff, which is hand the books out to the kids who are so excited to get them. And their excitement rubs off. I mean, it's just hard not to be excited when you see how excited they are. So it's a joy for us to do. The club supports this wholeheartedly, and we will continue to support this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're very honored to have you here and we appreciate it. I saw the pictures of the students that they were looking at their dictionaries. And you know, when the internet goes down and you need to know what a word says, where are you going to go? To your dictionary, right? So we all need to have one in our homes, and thank you so much. So we have a plaque. Mr. Koenig, would you read what the plaque says? It's a very good quote by Cesar Chavez that it's very fitting.
Yes, this is a certificate of appreciation for the Salinas Alisal Rotary for your commitment to the education of Alisal students as demonstrated by the One Dictionary for each third grade student program, now in its 14th year. And we have a quote from Cesar Chavez: "The end of all knowledge should be service to others." And so thank you very much for this program.
Books, it's right there, walking and reading and ready. Don't see the person.
Thank you so much. And I have another spotlight, and that's to recognize those the outstanding leaders that we have in our school district. I can see them smiling already. Edie Porter, Josh Harris, others that have a lot to do with Alisal getting the Golden Bell Award for guiding students to excellency frequently under challenging circumstances. And can you tell us a little bit, I'm putting Mrs. Anzo on the spot. Can you tell us a little bit more about what this entails for our district, please?
Yes, so it's actually a big honor and a big deal, we can say those words, for the district to be receiving this award. It's a validation of the hard work that has been happening, not just this year, but for the past 4, 5, 6, 7 years of the collaboration among just not the teachers, but the ed services and our teachers, where the teacher union has a group called Teachers Teaching Teachers. So You can check it out in even our CBA. We have an article that really talks to the collaboration among management and our teachers. So it's just a program that we've been trying to make sure that it gets to the classroom in order to make sure our students are achieving, make sure we create those conditions for teaching and learning. And so it takes the collaboration, not just among our teachers, but among all the other groups that make this happen for our students. So the Ed Services directors, the Professional Development Committee that's made up of Ed Services members and teachers have a big part in this.
Thank you. I didn't bring my phone and I had asked the superintendent to give me the names. Well, the list is pretty long on all of those of you who were, under your lead, under the superintendent's lead to get this award for LSL. What I found very interesting as I was reading about it is that student needs change all the time. So for the teachers or the leaders that are teaching the teachers, what these changes are and to be innovative in their practices to get to better student achievement is awesome. To be recognized statewide is a big deal. So thank you for putting us there. Thank you for letting us, shine that way. And the best thing is our students are doing better because of people like you. So thank you so much, and you deserve a great round of applause. Any more spotlights, Mr. Koenig?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, thank you. So we'll go on. We're still on opening items. We're going to go on to the adoption of the agenda, and I do need a motion.
I make
please. Mr. Jimenez,
Second.
second by Mr. Ocampo. Any questions and or concerns? Okay, I'll call for the vote. May I please have those in favor say aye?
Aye.
Opposed? No, motion carries 3-0 with 2 being absent. So we're going to go on to our second item here, presentation. We're going to go on to A, school site presentation, Principal Veronica Medina, Cesar E. Chavez Elementary School. She's accompanied by her assistant principal.
Good evening, Board Member President Ms. Gripas Barrera, Mr. Koenig, Board members, Cabinet, community members. My name is Veronica Medina, and I'm the proud principal of Cesar Chavez Elementary. Here with me today is Ms. Arizona, Assistant Principal, and 2 of our top readers that led the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you for allowing us to share some of the amazing work happening at Cesar Chavez Elementary. So let's begin with just giving you an overview of who we serve, our students that we serve. So our total enrollment for right now is 656. We have 12 bilingual classes, 14 English only classes, 2 SDC. Our caseload for RSP teacher is 18 students as of right now. We have 52% of our students are English learners. We have 57 long-term English learners, 96.6 reduced free and lunch, and McKinley-Vento students at 103. So a total of 26 teachers with 1 RSP teacher makes it a total of 27. We don't currently have a counselor. We're on the waiting list for her to be released from her district, hopefully soon by the end of the month. And we have a new psychologist that's starting with us this year. Some of the demographics that we serve, I said again, we have 342 ELLs, English language learners. We have 90 RFEP students, which means reclassified. 29 in total IFEP, which means the first time they ever took the LPAC, they passed it. And then 5 this year. English only, we have 106 students, and TBDs, only 1, a new student that hasn't been tested, but will be tested soon. We have 323 boys, 333 girls. So let's begin by giving you an overview of what kind of focuses our entire schoolwork. After presenting and analyzing data during the summer, during our SLT retreat, we worked together on focusing our work. And this is when we came up with the instructional focus for this year. Our instructional focus is what guides all the work that we do at our school. And we're making sure that all stakeholders are informed of our instructional focus, teachers, parents, students, committee members. We're all working on ensuring that all our plans and decisions are being aligned to our instructional focus. So our instructional focus is a little bit of, and it's going to continue to be the same one because we need to make sure that we exit students at a grade level, reading levels, right? So the instructional focus is during the 23-24 academic school year. Our instructional focus will be reading comprehension, and that's measured by Lexile for upper grades and DRA and ADL for lower grades. Teachers will use close reading, close listening to improve listening, student reading levels. Our job as teachers and administrators will be to prepare by learning the student individual needs and creating an academic plan for all our students. And like I said, this is what guides our instruction or our goals and our plans for the entire year. Then as we're working through the WestEd group, we also, and we meet monthly, we created our equity ideal. This is an ideal that we started last year, but it gets revised and improved and refined as we need to. Our equity ideal is our school team will know we are effectively serving our students when teachers identify their ELL individual needs and fill their learning gaps by providing equitable instruction. And again, this is another one of our goals that's guiding our instruction and our plans. Here we have our prevention intervention plan that we are working at Chavez. We have to all begin with, first of all, strengthening the tier 1 instruction in all classrooms. That's a must, because if we didn't have intervention, this is what the intervention would be, right, in the classrooms. So then we have 2 intervention teachers that just started with us 2 weeks ago. And one of them is working with lower grades, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and their focus is foundational skills. And we have another teacher working with upper grades, and she's working with 4th, 5th, and 6th, and they're working on foundational skills as needed, but also the reading comprehension that our kids lack. We put aside on our budget monies to be able to provide after-school program support in small group instruction for our students. And after analyzing the data, it was decided that it was math that needed the support for this year. We also have, since we didn't include TK or kinder in our intervention right now, what we're doing is we are the early literacy coach, and as we're working together to train the paraeducators in the classrooms so that they can provide a small group instruction or one-on-one for foundational skills for our students while we get them on the intervention plan, which will happen in January. We are currently having 3 mini course students that work with our migrant students, and they come various days of the week, but we currently have 3. Hopefully we'll get more so they can support our students. Goal of the district in our side is that all grade levels become strong learning communities that focus on student learning, that we monitor student progress, not just making a goal and looking at assessment, but we monitor the progress throughout the whole year, that use results to drive student learning. And then we also focus on creating goals, not for only for the teachers and planning, but also creating goals for students. A big goal, and thanks to the district for providing the Super Wednesdays where teachers are collaboratively developing common goals and assessments. And here's just an example, a picture of this is 3rd grade teachers, 4th grade teachers that were working on during a PLC day and collaborating and creating standard-based lessons. And then also a picture of how we are analyzing data. And this was 3rd grade after administering the first assessment, writing assessment, and just collaborating and looking at data points and what can they learn from each other. Teachers, just as students, need to receive high quality professional development, right? So to be set on a path for academic success. So as you can see here, here are some of the professional development that we're offering our teachers. This is besides what the district is offering. So we're a Right Up a Storm school. And this program is, we receive closed reading and writing strategies. We're also, again, focusing, after looking at the data, we're focusing on math training for our teachers. And that's going to be provided through our instructional coach, but also District Math TOSA. And then we have a new program that we're piloting this year, and it's IXL Math. We also have been providing since last year and continue to is guided reading, small group instruction. That's going to be through instructional coach, early literacy coach, and then the TOSA. We also have we are using, most of our teachers or grade levels are using Achieve 3000. So we're going to be embedding that PD during our staff meetings so that teachers can utilize all the tools. And then the other one that we just recently met with is we have a program for our K6, but for K5 it's called Lexia Core and Power Up for 6th grade. And we're also going to be receiving PD on how to best utilize the tools that they provide. Here we begin with some data, and this is the data from last year, right? So this is how our students did. So if you see the top part, it's the ELA component of the SBAC. And I wanted to show comparison between the 2 years ago and last year. So if you see 3rd grade, it went up from 20 to 25, 4th grade 22 to 30, 5th grade 17 to 27, and then 6th grade, there was a break, a little went down, right? But then math on the bottom is also the same thing. So what we're doing and why we're showing you this is because we're creating plans. If we saw that there was some grade levels that needed some support, we're finding the support for those grade levels, and we're trying to focus on what is the needs for those grade levels so that we can see an improvement for the following year. Here we have the LPAC scores from last academic school year. And we are very proud of our teachers' work because we were able to get 80 of our students to obtain a level 4, and the reason we're very proud is because the previous year we had 28. And that's a great number to increase to, right? As you know, the LPAC is level 4 is the first criteria for reclassification. So once the students receive a 4, then we can look at the second criteria. And that gave us an opportunity to look at 80 students that we can look at the next criteria, which is reading level for those students. Last year, we focused a lot because if you saw the equity ideal, it goes back and talks about ELLs. So you can see that whatever we did in the focus helped us to be able to get 80 students that met the first criteria for reclassification. And here we have the actual numbers of students per grade level that are reclassified. Then we also have a celebration for our students. They had got a goodie bag, and Mr. Barrera made some t-shirts for us that said, I reclassified this year. But we also celebrated the fact that the reason we got to this point is because of the work the teachers are doing with our students. They're doing informational meetings with them about what LPAC is, what reclassification means, but also doing goal-setting meetings with the students where they sit with one-to-one with them and they come up with a plan on what their students can do to reclassify by the end of the school year. Here you see, and I wanted to show this because I think it's very important. We're nowhere to be near grade level in the upper grades, but I wanted you guys to see how we started a baseline last year, and this is a Lexile levels, right? So if you see 3rd grade, we started with a negative 42 the last year. This year is a positive, and it's 32. 4th grade, the same thing. It was 198, it was a negative, but it increased to 335 this year. 5th grade is 338 last year, and we went up to 536 this year. Then 6th grade, 485, and we went up to a 656. And just wanted to show this because I think and I showed our teachers too and our parents, we're starting off with stronger kids. The need is reading comprehension, and we can work with that, but our kids are reading. And I can be happy that our kids are starting a little stronger every single year. Here we have what we're working on, and we started last year. We started creating goal setting meetings with just like I do it with teachers, the teachers are doing it with students, and they create in their scheduled time to meet with the students. And we created the document in the middle is what we started off with last year. The teachers were supposed to meet with the students after they took the STAR test. They were supposed to graph it. And on the bottom, if the kids need to improve, they come up with a plan. They look, I know it's a little small, I can give you access, but it talks about what strategies that the students can do to be able to achieve their goal by the end of the school year for their Lexile. Then we also, you see in the bottom one, the left-hand corner, it's also goal setting, but it's a goal setting for kinder, because if you see this is a road and it has at the end, it has 26 sounds and 26 letters, right? So each one of the little cars is a kid that's moving up every time that he or she knows more letters, more sounds. So it's goal setting at different levels. It's not gonna be the same, but it's goal setting. And we don't only do it for Lexa, but we do it for ELD as well, so that we get kids that know the path to reclassification as well. Okay, the other goal that we have, I know the other goal that we have, and this is a competition we have against Fremont, is last year we had a competition to see who read more words. And we read 85 million. They read, I think it's right there, 122 million. So our goal this year is to beat them again and to get 200 million words and to dye her hair green. Some of the emotional supports, so people that provide social emotional support for our students are Sticks and Stones, Mindful Life Project, MCBH, ESL, ESS, and a counselor that is soon to come. I was promised by the end of the month.
So the next one, we're going to talk about our PBIS program that all of our schools have, but our students can earn their SmartBucks by following following our school-wide expectations, which is to be respectful, be responsible, be safe. So any student displaying any of these expectations can earn SmartBucks that you can see them pictured there. And then once they earn 100 SmartBucks, they can exchange them and then eventually go to our PBIS store. And sometimes Kinder and TK are not included, but we have decided that they need to be included as well and be motivated. So they're part of our group as well. Our next one is school culture. So we pride ourselves in creating a fun environment for our students. We have Unity Day activities, anti-bullying week. We have El Día del Niño celebrations with support of our PTC, a winter program. We also try and make the holidays as fun as possible, and we include our little Cesarito, which is our elf on the shelf that comes out during the winter. We have our spirit days, as you can see, and Ms. Medina and I usually try and incorporate, be part of it as well. And this year we recruited our own twins. In the next slide, you'll see that we also try and incorporate our teachers. We work towards building that school culture for them as well, making it fun. Last year, we had the Easter Bunny visit their classroom. We had a great teacher appreciation week for them. So I know that they were excited and happy about that. Our next one is included as part of our school culture is we want to make sure that our students come to school. So we've created a plan where we reward them individually with a pencil. They get their recognition for the trimester. And then we also have our Eagle Award that each class is awarded each month by the during our student of the month.
Okay, we're gonna skip. We're working on a plan for absenteeism and focusing on what students and making sure that they're coming to school every day. We have a student council that teachers that support us with having activities for the students on a monthly basis. We have our after school program just like everybody else.
And we have sports. So so we have volleyball, flag football, soccer, basketball. Last year, our 5th and 6th grade boys soccer team took first place. So we're planning on defending that title this year as well.
We have student recognitions. We have student of the month, reading library club, trimester awards, reclassification recognition, top AR readers. Well, we're very, we don't want to skip this part because I think we're very excited about this part. We're trying to build parent capacity at our site so that they can support us in supporting their children. So we're going grade by grade level and we're convincing the teachers to present themselves, but if they're not have the time, then we will be doing it, but we provide them with a at-home instructional kit and we bring the parents in for a night where we show them strategies that they can be using at home to support their children with instruction. We have parent communication, just like everybody else. We use monthly newsletters, Blackboard, Remind, Student Council, parent information, and just This year we bought a display case so that we can keep parents informed as they're bringing in their children or picking them up. And then finally, I know, Mr. Koenig, I'm going. We know that it takes a team to accomplish our goals, right? So we are very grateful for our staff, classified and certificated, our students and parents and community, because we seem to get nominated for a lot of things without us knowing, but it's our parents that want the best for their kids, just like we do, right? So we just want to thank you. I know it's a little fast, but we want to thank you for the time. And whenever you have an opportunity, come and visit us at Chavez.
Thank you, Ms. Medina. Mr. Ocampo, do you have any comments, thoughts?
No, just want to thank you for your enthusiasm and your presentations. I think it is cool that you have 80 students that got to the level 4 in the LPAC, because that seems to be looking better. And the collaboration, well, we, as a district, we did get that Golden Bell Award, so hopefully we're moving more and more collaboration. But thank you anyway. It's a good report.
Thank you.
Mr. Jimenez?
Just to say thank you for your presentation.
Thank you both. Yeah, a lot of enthusiasm there. I just had one question, if you don't mind. Well, actually, and a comment. I had never heard of the LTE, a long-time English learner. We don't want them to be long-time English
No.
learners. So what is
So our
that?
plan is to identify them and make sure that teachers know who they are and have a plan for them. And we're also meeting with them individually so that to create a plan with them on what they can do to be able to remove themselves from that list.
Okay, so then they've been,
So
they
long-term-
haven't been reclassified.
No, that's
And
what it
so
is.
maybe
It's-
they get tested too and they can't reclassify. So,
Yes, so
okay.
it's long-term English learners or students that have been in with the US for more than 6 years and haven't reclassified.
Oh.
So we need to identify them, create a plan for them, and make sure that they leave us reclassified.
That's great. Thank you so much. And when you were discussing the data, thank you for being so candid about the areas of concern or the plans that you have, especially with the sixth graders
Yes.
in English and math. And thank you for sharing that because it's not easy, but you have a
No.
plan and you have it all, what
We're
you're going
trying
to
to
do
keep
there.
everything under control,
I
yes.
appreciate that very much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the parents that came with their daughters and thank you for the students, that helped us with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank
with
you.
Exodus and okay, continuing on to our second presentation is Education Technology Department, and this will be Director of Educational Technology, Joshua Harris. Well, you did it. I didn't think you would. That's a lot of information. You did it timely. Thank you. Mr. Ocampo, do you have any questions for Mr. Harris?
Well done. Talk quickly. I didn't sleep well last night, but I more or less could keep up. Yeah, I mean, we, the ViewSonic thing, we put those TVs, what was that, a year ago? I don't remember. A few years back, we, in every single classroom. Oh. Okay, so just recently, yeah, but I'm glad that, because you have a new technology that's put in the classroom. So I'm glad that you're training teachers on how to use it. So that's obviously the next step, right? Is get people up and running so that they can use the technology. And it sounds like you're doing a great job with your ETLs and your TOSAs, so that's kind of cool, how you have the ETLs at every school. I'm assuming that the main difference between a TOSA and an ETL is that TOSAs are full-time and ETLs are more like part-time, I'm assuming. Or no? Yeah. Right. Okay. Wonderful. Yeah. So anyway, I'm also glad to see that you're putting together the tech clubs, the cohorts, and that you're working with the new teacher academy. And I'm really glad to see that you're getting feedback when there's training that takes place. You're getting feedback to see how well it went. So what can I say? It sounds great. So thank you for taking the lead on that and doing a good job with that.
I say thank you, Mr. Harris, for your all information.
Keep
Thank-
up the great work. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will continue on with our agenda. Item number 3, public comment concerning items on the open session agenda and or non-agenda items. A, guidelines. There will be a 2-minute limit for individuals and a 20-minute limit on total public comments. There is no ceding of one's time to other individuals. B, individuals wishing to address the Board of Trustees in open session items and or other items may do so at this time. Starting time is 6:21. Thank you. And the first person is Jorge Rojas, please.
Hey, good afternoon, President Gilpa, Herrera, School Board Trustees. Below. Okay. Good afternoon, School Board Trustees, Cabinet Superintendent. My name is Jorge Rojas, representing Monterey County Soccer Club. We are the largest in the region and also Northern California with over 300 teams and continue to grow. I come before you because we have a dire need of finding facilities for our kids that belong to this district. We had an agreement under Nancy Pfeiffer a couple of years ago where we would be using BRB, Frank Paul, and Fremont, and this other organization would be using Montebella, Jesse Sanchez, MLK, and Barden. Now, it worked okay. I guess we were able to manage because we were able to put our kids in a different school district and they had a place to play. But now with so many teams coming on board, we don't have a place for them to play. And there's some sites that are being vacant, they're not being used. So the teams that were in the other organization, they came to play in our organization. So we have the ECNL, which is the highest level of youth competition. And because they're part of our league now, they're told they can no longer practice at that field that belongs to the other league, which the field is kind of sitting empty. And what I'm looking is for a place for the kids so that it could be an enclosure for them to be able to practice. Um, and Frank Paul is not an option. Frank Paul, it's open. So we had adults going there kicking our kids, and I just decided to pull them away from that school. Fremont, it was construction going on, and so we weren't able to use it. So we're only kind of hanging on to VRB at this point. So I'm imploring if we can change that agreement and maybe use Montevilla, Arden, and VRB, those three schools, just for the safety of our kids. And the reason why I'm asking is because the kids need a place for practice. They have put a region on the map, winning state. And we had 7 teams go to nationals playoffs. So a lot of these kids are being trained by some of the top coaches, which are also staff members from your district. And we're imploring that if you can consider that and support us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rojas. Can we have a district follow up with Mr. Rojas? Yes?
Yeah,
Who
we'll
would that,
follow up.
who would that be?
That would be Mr. Bassi.
Mr. Bassi will follow up with you on that, Mr. Rojas. Thank you. Continuing on, we have Fernando Ortiz, please.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes a todos. I just wanted to add a little bit more to the comment Mr. Rojas said. I'm a volunteer coach. I've been doing it for almost 5 years. We have a little club, it's called FS Chivitas. We started with only 1-2 teams back like 8 years ago. Now we have approximately 12 teams, women and men. Couple of our teams been fighting in the state at the top levels. And all these kids live in our east side. And then they go to our schools where we asking if you guys please consider, giving us a little bit more space for our kids. And once again, all of our coaches are volunteer. We don't pay we don't get paid anything, but we do it from the heart. I bring a couple of kids with me just to show you guys that we are trying our best up there, and we would like for you guys to help us a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. Continuing on with Kyrene de los Santos, please.
Hello, I'm the parent of a special education student at VRB. And since the start of this school year, my son has not had a full-time teacher. Instead, he has been placed in a barren classroom with a revolving assortment of substitute teachers who are mostly there to babysit the kids while they try to learn from a laptop. These kids require and thrive on routines. It is especially difficult for them to deal with the disruption in their daily regimen. And with the kids not knowing who their teacher is or was or going to be, they are unable to learn at their full capacity. A designated full-time teacher does more than just teach. They develop and nurture relationships with their students. They learn about each one as an individual and know how to guide them so that they can succeed. These kids are some of the most vulnerable and at risk. These kids are more prone to suffer from mental health conditions like depression and severe anxiety. But they're also remarkably capable. Many of these kids possess skill sets that allow them to excel beyond what we are capable of in areas of study that we can't even comprehend. These kids need and deserve a fair and proper education. They need people that are invested in their education. Instead, they are being forgotten and abandoned, and it's totally unacceptable. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We will continue on, or we will close public comment at 6:27 p.m. Thank you. We'll go on to association comments. LSL Teachers Association. Thank you. California School Employees Association, Chapter 577.
Good evening, Ms. Gilbert Barrera, Cabinet, board members. I'm here tonight to, Solange Keikoinoe, Chapter President. I'm here tonight to address some concerns. One is Special Education Department. We have a vacant position since April, and that position was never posted. And we start conversation with the district because I asked why that is not posted, but I want to bring that concern because the department is short-staffed and they have only 2 full-time employee right now because the other employee is out, and they have a substitute. And substitute, usually they don't know everything that needs to be done. So the 2 translator clerk, they're left there, and they need to serve teachers or parents and the school needs, and also do the translation that is not being done. And also the program managers and TOSers, everyday constant interruption. So I know that the translation is backlogged for, I think, more than 500 right now as today. And the number of students in special education, I think, is over 900 students. And also, the board approved a job description for district district translator interpreter back in I think the board maybe approved in February of 2023, and that job is not posted either. So I think, and some of the translation that the translator clerk needs to do, I think maybe should be done by another person because maybe it's more legal language, even though it's come from the department, but needs to go to parents. I think that maybe should be done by the district translator interpreter. And I just want to bring that concern because I think the classified employees is being, everybody is so overloaded with work, and they're being very tired because it's demanding, and we don't feel like support or help. And like the Mr. Harris presentation, investment in teachers, investment in students, but classified staff is also part of the education of the students. So I would like to see the district pay more attention on the needs of classified staff, and also maybe the district have, and I don't want to say that we didn't have the conversation because this past Monday we had a conversation, but the district maybe have a plan on hire someone. But I would like to, before the district make that decision, to have a conversation, CSEA and the district, and maybe people that is working, doing the work, what their needs, not something that the district thinks that is the position that is needed in the department. I would like to use ALMA, Alisal Labor Management Accord, that platform to really engage with the district and have come to a solution that everybody will be helped, students, especially parents and the staff. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody here to represent the United Substitute Teachers Union? No. Okay, we'll move on to number 4, board member superintendent reports. Mr. Jimenez, please.
I want to share that last week, my colleague, Vice President and Trustee, Mrs. Garcia, and I attended the CLSBA, California Latino School Board Association Conference in Long Beach. There we networked with colleagues and superintendents from from other school districts in California. We have the amazing opportunity to listen and meet a Mexican labor activist, Mrs. Dolores Huerta, who has always supported and fought for our community field workers. It was a great experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. Mr. Ocampo?
Yeah, just a short report. I want to say on September 23rd, I attended the a module for the Masters in Governance. I missed the first one, so I attended the second one. Maybe I'll catch up to the first one later on. So basically, what was reviewed was student learning and achievement, and also policy and judicial review. I think what was really interesting was that they provided a school board protocol sheet that was developed and is being used by the Fremont Union High School District. I was looking at this protocol sheet, and it was kind of interesting because first of all, it includes a cheat sheet on Robert's Rules of Order. You know, Robert's Rules of Order can be pretty complicated, but this protocol sheet kind of has a nice little outline where it's a cheat sheet format where you can look at it and kind of understand the rules simply instead of reading through a 50 or 40-page book on the Robert Rules of Order. There was also the protocol sheet also had recommendations on court meeting management, on meeting guidelines, and how to best respond to the concerns of the community and the staff, which is a topic that we talked about at that retreat that we had. But this particular protocol, I think, has some good ideas. So what I want to do is provide our superintendent with a copy of the protocol, and then make it available to the other board members. I think the board members might find it of some interest, you know, to look at and see if it's something that we may or may not want to use in our board meetings. You know, maybe adopt or not adopt, you know, based on whatever, you know, the board wishes to do. The other thing that also happened on September 23rd was that the Soledad Union School Board had its ribbon cutting ceremony for their new Family Resource Center. And the reason I bring this up is because if you recall, some time ago, we hosted the Soledad District, and some of their trustees, some of their staff came, and we showed them our Family Resource Center, and they scoped out our center, and I'm sure that they used some of that information in the new center that they just built and they just finished building. So I think it'd be good in the future to maybe keep tabs on the Soledad Resource Center, and at some point in the future possibly compare notes. You know, maybe we can learn from each other. Maybe they're doing some great stuff we don't know about, and maybe we're doing some great stuff they don't know about, and maybe we can kind of grow. Sort of just a recommendation. But you know, I think that we should feel somewhat proud that we were part of that, you know, part of their resource center, because we did assist them and we did help them as much as we could. And that's my, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ocampo. I don't have anything, Mr. Koenig.
Yes, I just wanted to report, last week I was part of a 44-member district team that went to Pasadena to participate in the Solution Tree Professional Learning Communities at Work Conference. And this was a terrific conference. Professional learning communities, PLCs, are an important part of the district's plan for continuously improving. And I think we had 44 very fired up employees, teachers, principals, coaches, just a wide range of folks who have a better understanding of what's involved in PLCs and how they can be used to improve instruction in LSL. So my hat's off to the Curriculum and Instruction Department for putting that conference participation by the district together. And, you know, now we have the hardest part, which is implementing all these all these things that we've learned. So way to go, Edie.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Koenig. Board members, we'll go on to item number 5. Consent agenda, approve, ratify contracts, MOUs, agreements, grants, proposals, conferences, workshops, field trips. This is an action item. May I get a motion?
Make a
to
motion.
approve? Mr. Jimenez? Mr. Ocampo, do you want to second that?
Yes, sorry, second.
Thank you very much. Any questions, concerns, comments on the consent agenda? Okay, so I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 2 members being absent. Moving on to human resources. A, this is an action item, provisional internship permit 2023-24. I need a motion, please.
So move. Second.
Mr. Ocampo makes the first motion, Mr. Jimenez the second. Concerns, questions, comments? No? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 0, motion carries with 2 members being absent. B, variable term waivers 2023-24. Motion, please.
First.
Mr. Jimenez,
Second.
second by Mr. Ocampo. Questions, concerns? No?
I have one question, if somebody will entertain me for a while. You know, I'd always wondered exactly what the difference is between a between a PIP and a variable term waiver. Is there someone that can give me an explanation of a difference in simple terms?
Sure.
Is that
I'll ask
possible?
Mr. Durant to give you a simple explanation.
It's just something that's been on my mind for a long time. Sorry.
Sure. The provisional internship permit allows us to fill an immediate vacancy with somebody that has a BA but has not yet fulfilled the subject matter competence. The variable term waiver is somebody that is on a credential program and needs additional time to fulfill the requirements of the credential.
That may be the best explanation I've heard so far. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I do have a motion by Mr. Jimenez, second by Mr. Ocampo. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? None. Motion carries on a 3-0 vote with 2 members being absent. Action item C, request for new FTE Director 2 of Curriculum and Instruction. This is an action item. I need a
First.
motion. Mr. Jimenez,
Second.
second by Mr. Ocampo. Comments, concerns, questions? No? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 3-0 with 2 being absent. So we're gonna go on to number 7, administrative services. Consideration and action regarding executive compensation for Monica Anso, Associate Superintendent, Educational Services. I need a motion, please.
Make a motion.
Mr. Jimenez.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ocampo. Before we go on to the vote, we are to read this legal paperwork a little bit here. Bear with me, please. It's not too long, but it does have to be read. The district will consider approving a second amendment to the employment agreement for Monica Anzo as the Associate Superintendent of Educational Services of the school district. The second amendment will only affect the salary. A summary of the financial terms are as follows. 1, the Associate Superintendent of Educational Services will receive a 10% one-time off-salary schedule payment, which equates to $19,514. 2, the Associate Superintendent of Educational Services will be placed on the revised cabinet salary schedule as adopted by the board on September 13th, 2023. Ms. Anzo's placement will be retroactive to July 1st, 2022, and she will receive the difference of the $19,514 for the 2022 to 23 year less all applicable deductions. 3, effective July 1st, 2023, the Associate Superintendent of Educational Services will be placed on step 5 of the revised cabinet salary schedule, which will result in a new base salary of $214,651 for the 2023-24 school year. All other terms and conditions of the integrated agreement remain the same. So are there any questions, comments, concerns? So I do need a vote here. I have a first by Mr. Jimenez, second by Mr. Ocampo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries on a vote of 3-0 with 2 being absent. Thank you. Going on to B, consideration and action regarding executive compensation, Rais Abasi, Associate Superintendent, Business Services. I need a motion, please.
There's a motion.
Mr. Jimenez,
Second.
second by Mr. Ocampo. Before we take a vote, the same needs to be done here, and I will read the statement. The district will consider approving a second amendment to the employment agreement for Rais Abasi as the Associate Superintendent of Business Services of the school district. This second amendment will only affect the salary. A summary of the financial terms are as follows. 1, the Associate Superintendent of Business Services will receive a 10% one-time off salary schedule payment, which equates to $18,763. 2, the Associate Superintendent of Business Services will be placed on the revised cabinet salary schedule as adopted by the board on September 13th, 2023. Mr. Abasi's placement will be retroactive to July 1st, 2022, and he will receive the difference of $18,736 for the 2022-23 year, less all applicable deductions. 3, effective July 1st, 2023, the Associate Superintendent of Business Services will be placed on a step 5 of the revised cabinet salary schedule which will result in a new base salary of $214,651 for the 2023-24 school year. All other terms and conditions of the integrated agreement remain the same. Questions, comments? Okay, may I get a vote, please? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 3-0 with 2 being absent. Item number C, consideration of action regarding executive compensation, Arturo Duran, Assistant Superintendent, Human Resources. May I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Mr. Jimenez makes the motion, second by Mr. Ocampo. I will read the statement. The district will consider approving a second amendment to the employment agreement for Arturo Duran as the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources of the school district. This second amendment will only affect the salary. A summary of the financial terms are as follows. 1, the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources will receive a 10% one-time off salary schedule payment, which equates to $16,496. 2, the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources will be placed on the revised cabinet salary schedule as adopted by the board on September 13th, 2023. Mr. Duran's placement will be retroactive to July 1st, 2022, and he will receive the difference of $16,496 for the 2022-23 year, less all applicable deductions. 3, effective July 1st, 2023, the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources will be placed on step 3 of the revised cabinet salary schedule, which will result in a new base salary of $189,006 for the 2023-24 school year. 4, all other terms and conditions of the integrated agreement remain the same. Comments, questions? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None motion carries 3-0 with 2 being absent. So the next one is consideration and action regarding executive compensation. James R. Koenig Jr. I do need a motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
Mr. Jimenez. Mr. Ocampo makes the second. I will read the statement. The district will consider approving a second amendment to the employment agreement for Jim Koenig as the superintendent of the school district. This second amendment will only affect the salary. A summary of financial terms are as follows. The superintendent will receive a 10% one-time payment, which equates to $23,100. The superintendent will receive a retroactive increase of his annual salary in the amount of 10% starting July 1st, 2022. This new salary will result in an increase in the annual salary from $231,000 to $254,100. 3, all other terms and conditions of the integrated agreement remain the same. Okay, so I do have a first and a second. Are there any comments, concerns? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Say
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries 3-0 with 2 being absent. So we're gonna go on to future agenda items. We're gonna be having the 25th, the facilities program update workshop. Any more from the board? I would like to request for information, not a presentation, maybe on the update on how we're doing on AVA. The virtual academy, has our enrollment increased? I mean, we just don't want any surprises at the end of the school year like last time. So if we can just get an update on that, it'd be appreciated. Mr. Jimenez.
Yes, and then the same thing. I wanna request a presentation of the La Placita, the program that we have on one of the, that's the name, right? The classes, or Plaza Comunitaria, I'm sorry, Plaza Comunitaria.
Okay, so
Please.
did you want an
Like,
update on like a request for information?
No, for the presentation.
Presentation. So
Presentation.
La
of
Placita, is that part of our
Plaza, no, Plaza Comunitaria.
plaza? Is that,
That is a program that we have on the,
Mhm. right, it's
Yes.
part of,
The Alisa Family Resource Center.
oh, okay. So then
So
we would ask for a presentation on the different programs in the LSL?
no, I wanna know about what is La Plaza Comunitaria, and then what they offer to the community.
Okay, so we'll figure out how we bring that one forward.
Well, we are going to have a presentation by the LaSalle Family Resource Centers in the meeting after next. So on the November 15th meeting, there'll be a presentation by the Family Resource Centers, and we can include covering Plaza Comunitaria as part of that presentation.
Okay.
Is that okay like that,
That's
Mr.
okay.
Jimenez?
That's okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll go on now to item number 9. Guidelines, there will be a 2-minute, oh, this is for public comments for closed session agenda items only. Guidelines, there will be a 2-minute limit for individuals on public comment and a 20-minute limit on total public comments. There is no ceding of one's time to other individuals. Individuals wishing to address the Board of Trustees in closed session agenda items may do so at this time, starting at 6:52. Is there anybody that wanted to come forward? No? Okay, we'll end at 6:53 and adjourn to closed session at 6:53. So in 10 minutes, which will be what time? 7:03. 7:03. We will start promptly, and we do need all 3 of us in there because there's only 3 of us. So we have like a 10-minute break.